In the year 2000, the average 25-year-old in Haiti had gone to school for 3.8 years. In 2017, that number was up to 5.3. In Zimbabwe, it has gone from 6.5 all the way up to 8.2 years. And in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, it has gone from 3.3 up to 6.8 years. This is why the world is a better place than ever. For the first time since the United Nations started publishing its Human Development Index, the global number has gone down 2 years in a row, for 2020 and 2021. But it is easy to lose focus and look too much at the short-term development and fail to see the long-term trends. Like, for example, in 2004, 1.84 million people died in the world as a result of HIV/AIDS. Since then, due to measures to stop the spread of the disease as well as implementation of antiretroviral drugs, in 2019 the number was down to 860,000, a drop of 50% in just 15 years. The risk of dying from excess alcohol consumption has gone down. In the year 2000, the risk was 38 for every 100,000 inhabitants of the world to die from alcohol-related diseases. In 2019, that number was down to 29, and the drop has been especially big in Africa and in Eastern Europe. More and more people have access to basic sanitation in the world. In the year 2000, 28% of the world's population had access. In 2020, that was up to 54%. And the development has been especially fast in China, going from 13% up to 70%, and India going from 6% up to 46% in just 20 years. Deforestation remains a big problem in the world, but it is actually going down. In the 1980s, we lost 151 million hectares of forested area in the world. In the 2010s, that was down to 47 million hectares. And in temperate areas, meaning non-tropical regions, we have actually seen net gains in the last couple of decades. We have the fewest active nuclear warheads in the world since 1958, down to around 9,000 in 2022, from its peak year in 1986 with 64,000 active nuclear warheads, a drop of 85%. North Korea is the latest nation to gain nuclear capabilities back in 1998, and since then it has stayed at 9 nations with an active stockpile. We've come very close to eradicating polio in the world. A disease that once killed tens of thousands of people every year, today it is eradicated in all nations but Afghanistan and Pakistan. And the global vaccination rate has gone up from 21% in 1980 all the way up to 86% in 2019. We are more connected than ever before. In 2010, there were 76 active mobile phone subscriptions for every 100 people in the world. In 2020, that was up to 106, well above 1 per person on average. And in low-income nations, the number is today 60. We're using less agricultural land than we used to, due to higher yields per hectare. In 1960, the average person used 1.45 hectares of agricultural land. In 2020, that was down to 0.63. The risk of dying from indoor air pollution, from for example cooking with poor fuel or poor ventilation, has gone down significantly. In the year 2000, the risk was 78 for every 100,000 inhabitants of the world. In 2019, that was down to 30. While still a problem in low-income nations, in the middle-income nations it is basically non-existent today. Despite emissions of greenhouse gases being at an alarmingly high level today, we're actually getting better at producing more economic output per unit of CO2 released. This is an indicator that continued economic growth does not necessarily mean an increase in emissions in the future. Despite some setbacks in recent years, the world is more democratic than it used to. In 1950, only 15% of the world's countries could be classified as democratic. In 2020, that was up well above 50%. And the worst of category, the closed autocracies, has gone down from 67% in 1950 down to 15% today. Fewer women are dying in childbirth. In the year 2000, 450,000 women died in the world during or after pregnancy. In 2017, that was down to 293,000, a drop of 35% in just 17 years. And we are living longer and longer lives. In 1960, the average baby born could expect to live 52 years. In 2020, that was up to 72 years. And in low-income nations, the development has been even faster, going from 39 in 1960 up to 64 in 2020. You can find the sources to all these statistics in the description below, and you can find longer videos on my channel of me visualizing the state of the world. Thank you so much for watching.